Alright, I'm back with another update. Um, I've been working on a editor for 2 days now. Um, I did it with C# because it makes the whole GUI programming a lot easier. Um, so I started up. This is it's just I haven't polished it really yet. It's just so I just made it pretty quick. Anyway, so what I do is I create a new project, and then I need to specify a directory. So I am gonna specify where I have my engine, my game engine. So documents and there. Alright, in here. And then the name. And this will create a new folder as well. So let's call it ZM test1, then create it. And if the folder already exists, it will ask you if you want to delete everything in that folder and then create a new one. So yeah. Anyway, here's the test1, and you see create a data folder, and for other folders, a graphics folder. And one thing that I haven't fixed yet is that inside the graphics folder, I will also need a GUI folder, which contains all the GUI images, but all the necessary images will be added later, so I'll fix that. Anyway, right now it's all empty, so let's add some things. Go into the textures, and then I can load the texture. So I choose the tiles.png texture, and this will load it in, and it will also copy it over to my graphics folder. Alright, so now I specify, as you can see, it's tiles, so I specify the clip X. I have 4 tiles on the X axis and 1 tile on the Y. Alright, now I want to create a new scene, so new scene, and here you have to specify a couple of values. First, the name of the scene, so I'm just gonna scene 1. Then the update area, and this is the area from the camera, the X and Y value from the camera that is going to be updated. So let me just illustrate this, because this is a new concept that I thought about. If we have this is the whole scene, and this is the I'm gonna create, this is the camera, and let's say that I have one entity, a couple of entities, and each entity, remember that each entity has a script, right? And so if the camera is there, and the update area is like that, so the width of this will be 1280, because it will be 640 pixels to the left and to the left and to the right, and the height will be 960, because it will be the same on the y-axis. So that's the update area. So if an entity is within that area, it will run its script, right? And if it's outside the area, the engine will just skip those entities and not run the scripts. Because if you have, let's say if you have like 200 entities and spread out through the map, if you run all those scripts, it will slow down pretty badly, and Still, I want the entities to run the script so they can update even though the player even though they are not within the camera. So by having the update area, it lets the world continue a bit, but it will continue enough so it still looks like the world is a bit dynamic. And it's a great optimization because I don't really need to update an entity that is 1,000 pixels away. Anyway, and then I specify I have 4 layers. The layer 1, all the entities are always on top of layer 1, and then these 3 layers will be on top of the entities. Though you can move entities, you can make the entities go up levels. Yeah, and then so you need to specify texture for each different layer, so you can have different couple of textures for each layer. Anyway, create that scene, and if we open up the scenes, we will have a created scene. Now I can start add tiles. So I add a couple of tiles here. And this is on the first layer. As you can see here, layer 1. And this is the index. So I can change the index on the X to 1, and that will let me add the second texture in the tiled image. Then I can add on layer 2. Then I'm gonna add a roof tile. And another one. Like that. And now I can also specify which layers to show. So if I remove the second layer, it will. So yeah. Anyway, let's save all. So it's saved. Let us now go into the folder, and you will see you have all the graphics, and you have assembled the Z file, and this will be loaded by the this will be read by the engine, so it loads in all the necessary images. And same with the scenes. So I have a scene that contains all the necessary data for one scene, and then I have this assembled, which will read in and create every necessary scene. Alright, so let's go into the engine, and let's copy over the whole data folder, and I'm just gonna make sure that the old ones are removed. Same with the graphics, and I'm gonna copy it in. Oh crap. Oh, there we go. Alright, and then I'm gonna run it, see if it works. Yeah, and there we go. So here's the map we created, and everything is as before, only that we've created the map ourselves. And as you can see, this is on another layer, so the entity, the player, well, all the entities is below it, and it is semi-transparent as well. So this is how it works. The camera follows an entity, right? And if that entity is below a certain layer, if the camera's target is below a certain layer, then that layer will be semi-transparent. So that makes sure that the camera always sees the entity it follows. And also the light sources only light up the tiles that are on the same level as the light. So these tiles that are on the second layer isn't lit by the light that follows the player. it is instead lit by nothing right now. If I add a light on the second layer, that light will lit those tiles. So I'm gonna show you. So each entity contains an add level variable, and that ranges from 1 to 4. And I thought about this, and I discussed it with my brother, and I said, yeah, but what if we create apartments? So we have an apartment, with 20 levels. Then I need to have one layer of tiles for each apartment level. And well, he said that when we hit the 4th layer, instead of having 5 layers, we just change the scene. So that's our solution to that problem. Because we are gonna have apartments, and then, well, that was a better solution than having 20 different vectors for each layer, or creating a system to loop through to contain all the different layers in one vector, and then just loop through and check for just render them in the right order. That would be really inefficient. So instead, we have 4 layers. If we can't move above the 4th layer, but we change the scene and then make the illusion that we are on the 5th layer, or well, on the 5th floor. So yeah, that's good. It's good stuff. Also, I removed some scripting things. You can't add tiles anymore, and I'm thinking about removing the load texture script function as well, because you don't really need it now when you can load texture from the editor. So yeah, that's the update for this time. I will come back next week, I guess, and hopefully have something new to show you. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.